Welcome back to Zoom Talk Thursdays. We have a special guest tonight, and his name is Ray.
How y'all doing?
Yes. Ray, are you able to take yourself off camera?
Yeah, let me see. Can you hear me?
Yes. Welcome, Ray. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. How y'all doing?
Everyone say hi to Ray, you guys. Ray, so I would like to read your bio, and then you could start talking if you like, okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so Ray, after overcoming homelessness at the age of 17, Sugar started several successful businesses. His music has amassed over 15 million streams across all social and streaming platforms, and he's built a combined following of over 150K followers by the way of his music and powerful messages in just 12 months. Unlike usual speakers, Sugar is raw and uncut, inspiring millions by spreading the light that he says God has graced him with. We are excited to have you on our Zoom Talk Thursdays tonight. We're excited to hear the good word. The last time I saw you live, and you really had it was really beautiful. Thank you.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me. How y'all doing? How all the ladies in here doing? We got a nice little intimate crowd, 12 people. Cool. I'm gonna start off. We're gonna pray real quick so we can get the energy right, and then we'll get going. All right. Lord God, thank you for bringing us together on this beautiful day, God. Thank you for giving us this other opportunity today to go after it, Lord. Thank you for all the pressure, God. Thank you for all the uncertainty, God. Thank you for all the things that you put on our plate, all the things that make us feel overwhelmed, God, because we know those are the things that's going to help us grow, God. Lord, I trust you. Even when I don't know what you're doing, Lord, even when I don't know how you're going to make this stuff work, I know that that's not my job to worry about that stuff, Lord. I know that all we need to focus on is what we're trying to get to and the next step that we can take and the guidance that you have called us to do, Lord. I don't know what you're trying to do, Lord, but I know what you're doing is worth it, Lord. And I know that the process is not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it, Lord. So I pray that you give us wisdom. Please give us discernment, God. Please give us the clarity. Please give us the guidance and everything that we need to be guided on this path and do the right thing, Lord. I trust you. We all trust you. Please speak to us today. And I pray that we have a beautiful message today, Lord. Thank you. Amen. All right. So look, today we're going to I want to talk to you guys about having your breakthrough, right? And I see you guys got the chat. If y'all got any questions or whatever you want to say something, just type it down in the chat and hopefully y'all see it because that's how we do our lives on Instagram. But listen to me. So today we're going to talk about how your breakthrough is going to come. And it's not going to come by way of the way that you think. And when your breakthrough does come, it's going to be a whole lot bigger than you expected. But let me tell you something. When you right before that door that's about to open, and I know a lot of y'all probably not there right now, but I'm going to give this to you right now. When you at that door that's about to open, you're going to have the most overwhelming second thoughts, the most overwhelming doubt, the most overwhelming uncertainty. Everything in your body, everything in your mind is going to tell you, everybody around you is going to tell you to turn back. They're going to tell you it's not the right thing. But I want you to understand that I heard this on a video the other day. They said your Goliath is your rite of passage to get to your blessing. It's a rite of passage to get to your kingdom. A rite of passage to get your credibility. And all this stuff is credibility. So I want you to understand this, that you're not going to get to your door. You're not going to get to that opportunity unless you are prepared. And when you get through that door, the amount of overwhelming success that is going to be huge. But it's going to be a lot more overwhelming than any type of failure, than any type of pressure, than any type of other stuff that's going to be on you. Because the weight of the load that you're trying to bear with the things that you're asking God for is a lot. Because y'all don't know what y'all asking for. I don't know what I'm asking for because I don't understand the responsibilities that's going to come with the things that I'm praying for because I haven't been there yet. I've seen people there. I've seen what it looks like on paper, but I don't know how great it's really going to be. And only thing I can pray for is that God preps me for that God prepares me for that God gives us the guidance and gives us the tools that we need. But I'm going to tell you this right now. You got all the tools you need to get from where you are now to that next step. But you worrying about the next 10 steps and the next thing going to be, that's not for you to worry about. What you got to focus on is the next step. What you got to focus on is what you're doing right now. How are you preparing who you are for what you're trying to go to? All that house stuff, that's not for you to worry about. So look, God's going to give you something that's 10 times greater than what you're asking for. He's going to bless you with the type of get back that you've been looking for all the work that you've been putting in. Because all of us have been sowing seeds. We've been sowing seeds for years. And I'm going to tell you this. For the past 10 months, the seeds that you've been sowing, that you've been watering, the past 12 months, the seeds that you've been watering, they're going to come to fruition. You're always going to reap what you sow. But if you leave those plants where they at, if you leave those plants in the soil, you're really not going to see what's going to happen, because you have to stay with it. You got to stay consistent, and you got to stay monitoring those plants, because when God gives you that harvest, it may not be as big as it is when you first expect it, but you got to give it some time for that stuff to mature. And it's going to be tough. And nobody ever said it was going to be easy. It's not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would have it. But look, so while you're being patient on this journey, and while you're being patient until God preps you and God brings you to that breakthrough and God gives you to that opportunity, you got to stay focused on the fact that it's going to bring out a lot of the qualities that you dislike about yourself. A lot of the things like that pressure, a lot of the things like that patience and that anger and all those things that fester up inside you, them flaws that you got, they're going to be magnified. But those flaws that you got and all that anger that you got, all that insecurity that you got, that stuff is going to be the catalyst for your blessing. God's going to use your mistakes. He's going to use your misfortunes to bless you. He's going to use all the stuff that you stumbled on to bless you. See, you're going to start something, right? You probably already dug yourself inside a hole. I know a lot of y'all understand the power of a mistake, the beauty of a mistake, the beauty of a stumble. You can't stumble into a blessing unless you stumble. You can't fall into a blessing unless you fall. If you don't jump and you spread your wings, you're not going to fly. But you got to understand that when you fall, that's the most biggest gift that God could give you. You're supposed to fall. You're supposed to scratch your hands up. You're supposed to scratch your clothes up, tear everything up. You're supposed to do that. That's your rite of passage. That's your credibility. You need to have that to gain the wisdom that you need. You need to have that to gain the guidance that you need, to have the credibility, so that the people that's looking at you, the people that you don't even know is looking at you, they're going to be listening from you. They're going to be learning from you. They're going to be led by you. You are a leader. But you're not ever going to be a leader without no credibility. You're not ever going to be a leader until you got something to show for it. And yeah, when you fall, he's going to pick you back up. But if you don't reach out and grab his hand when he pick you back up, you ain't never going to get up. You're never going to get up. So when you stumble, you got to shift your perspective on how you see all these things. When you see the dust, when you fall down, you fall into the dust. I was just talking about this on a live the other day. When you fall down, when you make a choice and you think this choice is going to be the greatest decision that you ever made, it's going to set you free, and it does not work out, and you fall flat on your face and you fall into the field of dirt and dust, it's going to be a lot of dust everywhere, a lot of dust clouds. You can't see a damn thing, right? And you looking around, you got dust in your eyes, you got scratched up, your arms hurt, your body hurt. That's what happens when you fall. You don't know what you're seeing. You don't know what you're looking at. You can't find your space on the ground, your keys or nothing. You just on the ground, dust everywhere. But that dust, what you don't know is that when that dust settles and you start looking around, you're going to have your keys on the floor. You're going to have that set of the new house keys, the new car keys. You're going to have that bag of money. You're going to have everything that you want on the floor in front of you when the dust settles. But that dust has to settle. And I'm going to tell you this, when that dust is around everywhere and you have fallen on the ground, no one else is going to see what's meant for you. What's meant for you is yours. And you can never avoid, you can never miss what's meant for you. What's meant for you won't leave. No matter how bad you mess it up, no matter how bad you think you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing, you can't miss that. Because God already got a ring. He already got the plan for you. So you think that you made a mistake and you think that you failed in this aspect and it negated all the stuff that you was asking for. God just putting you in position. God is just placing you in the exact unique position, the exact unique spot, so that you can react the way you need to react. He's going to give you everything that you need. What are some things that may cause people to fall? Everything. So sometimes the best things that can happen to you could be the reason that you fall. Sometimes the biggest blessings that you ask for is going to be the reason why you fall, because we're not going to be ready for it. But I want to tell you this, is falling is not negotiable. You're going to fall. I thank God every time I fall down and I make a mistake. That's non-negotiable. But the part that's in my control is, how am I viewing that fall? Am I viewing that as a loss? Am I viewing that as something that's taking over me? No, it's all in perspective. It's like, okay, like Brenda asked, how do you stay consistent? Consistency it's all a choice. How are you viewing? So the reason why we stop staying consistent and the things that hold us back from keeping our momentum going is only the doubts in our head. It's the burning out. It's the laziness. It's all the temptations to get comfortable, because it's so much easier to give up. It's so much easier to not get your butt up and go to the gym. It's so much easier to take the easy route. That's easy. It's comfortable. It's right there. It's easy not to go take a risk on yourself. That stuff is easy. But choosing to look at the easy stuff and the pleasurable stuff as the stuff that's really going to hold you back from that blessing, from that success, from that stuff that you've been praying about, that's the main thing. That's the main shift. If you could change how you view the world, your whole world is going to change. See, the world around you is a reflection of what you see on the inside. The way that you view yourself, the way that you talk to yourself, the way that your mind processes things, that's how you view the world. That's what your world is going to be. The world is not as it is. The world is as you are. You change the way you see things. You start looking at things from a positive perspective. Like, you know how they say the glass half full, half empty. Like, I could look at this and say, oh, it's not a full bottle. Or I could say it's, mostly filled up. It's all about how you see things. And that's what's going to help you when you fall down, because you're going to fall down on the dust and be like, okay, look, this means I'm about to get a blessing right here. You're going to fall down real hard. You be like, okay, God, I see what you're doing right now. I don't know what you're doing. It don't feel good. It sucks right now. I'm all scratched up. People is laughing at me, but last time I checked, their opinions didn't even matter. Last time I checked, it don't matter how I look on the outside. It matter who is this person on the inside? How am I reacting to these situations? What type of path am I leading for the people that's looking at me? Because there's people that's watching. There's people that's studying. You see, a lot of y'all don't understand. There's 10, 20, 50 people that's around you that may not even ever speak to you, strangers that see you at the grocery store, that see you when you're at the gym. You don't even know them. They never introduce themselves, but they learning from you. Just as when you out and around and you be seeing people, you be learning from people. You always take little bits and pieces of everybody, everything you see around you. You're always going to be in a state of leadership. You're always going to be in a state where you could blaze a path and you could show somebody what they can do. That's why it's your job. You got to go chase your dream. You got to go take bets on yourself. You got to go do things that's out of the ordinary and stop staying comfortable. Comfortability is your biggest enemy. Comfortability is your biggest enemy. What advice can you give to those who are fallen and remaining consistent to get back, but still may be struggling? How bad do you want it? That's the real question. How bad do you really want it? How much does it really mean to you to get up? And what are you willing to sacrifice to be the person that you want to be? Because when you fall down and you have a tough time staying locked in, you got to address why are you doing that? What's stopping you from getting up and just going after it? Do you really want it bad enough? Are you willing to cut out the things that you don't need and the distractions and just focus and go all in? You can't go 1 foot in and 1 foot out and expect an all out blessing. I can't do a little bit of work and just stay faithful half the time and really just not. I always use working out because it's the simplest way to explain it, and it applies to everything. But I can't go to the gym 1 day a week and eat healthy 1 day out the week, and the rest of the day just eat whatever I want and expect to have myself in shape. I can't expect to go run a marathon if I'm not training for it. If I don't have my vision and my goals, here go for somebody. If I don't have my vision and my goals in place, how do I know where I'm even going? See, the vision and the dreams that you got in your head, the things that you want and your desires, that's not coming from you. That's God putting that in your head. And when God gives you a download in your head, it's up to you to go take that step and that risk and that leap of faith of going to get there. It doesn't mean you got to have the whole thing figured out. Shoot, I don't have nothing figured out, but you don't have to have it figured out. That's not your job. That's not your job. Your job is to listen to when he called, because God be calling, he going to call you and be like, hello, who this? It's going to be God. I need you to go here and do this. Okay, but what if that don't work? What if he said, don't worry about that. I said, go here and do this. And you're like, all right, yes, sir. That's what you got to do. When God call you and tell you to do something, you got to go do it. When God put a desire in your head that you can't stop thinking about, if you're having trouble staying consistent on your dream, if that's something that you really care about and that you really want, you got to go take them steps. And if you worried about it not working, you worried about the wrong stuff. You need to worry about how strong are you going to be to carry it when you win. Just you guys got to claim that winning mindset. You got to claim that. See, I'm not claiming inconsistency over my life. I'm not claiming insecurity over my life. I'm not claiming failure over my life. And I need y'all to do the same thing. We don't do that. We don't claim that. I don't care if you feel doubtful. I don't care if you feel having second thoughts. I don't care if you feel like you ain't good enough. That don't mean you got to claim it. Because every single day I get pressed. Every single day, every time I try something new and I take a little bet on myself, things is always coming in the way to tell me I ain't good enough. Tell me you can't do this. Who do you know who's done that? How do you know that you're going to be good enough for that? You're not prepped for it. See, but that's not for you to worry about. That's the devil. That's they trying to tell you and convince you. Look, TDJ said this, and I got this on my wall. It says, the devil can't curse you. He can only convince you to curse yourself. That was a lie. All he's trying to do is convince you that the blessings that God gave you is the things that came to curse you. Here go for somebody. Listen to me. You already know God's going to use the devil to bless you. But the devil is going to use your blessings against you. He's going to convince you that the thing he brought into your life that's a beacon of light, that's a beacon of hope. He's going to convince you that that thing, you're either not good enough for it, it's going to cause you harm, it's going to cheat on you, it's going to do something wrong to you, it's going to do all type of stuff. And God didn't say none of that. God didn't say none of that. And if that does happen, if God wants that to happen, then let it happen. All that's going to do is sharpen you up. All that's going to do is give you a little more scar tissue. All that's going to do is give you a little bit more experience. Yeah, insecurity, that's all it is. That's all it is. Hey, look, I thank God for all the insecurities I got. I thank God every day. I thank God for when I was a kid and I used to feel like I wasn't good enough. Because look, one thing about me is I always knew as a kid, all the stuff that came to afflict me was going to be the things that exalted me. All the things that make you feel less than are the same things that you could flip the script on, use those as your footstool, step up to the top, and use those for the reason why you can win. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, you're all your flaws is your blueprint on how to win. I'm gonna say that again. Your flaws, the things you dislike about yourself, the things that hold you back, are the same things that are going to help you push forward. They're the same reasons why you're going to win. You're insecure about something. Okay, why are you insecure about it? What about it are you insecure about? Okay, there's your answer. You're insecure about how you look. Okay, let's go fix that. You insecure about how you talk. Okay, let's go fix that. Insecure about how you dress. Let's go fix that. You can fix anything. You insecure about your money. That's all substance stuff. That's not even real. That stuff is all on the outside. And if you had nobody else to compare yourself to, guess what? You would not be comparing yourself. You would not be comparing yourself. Talking about breaking generational curses. See, that right there in itself is like, you got to choose to do that. You got to really make a choice. And it's going to be tough. Just like anything you ever want in your life is going to be tough because it's ingrained in your head that all of these things about you, you don't have to claim none of that. You don't have to claim none of that. I always talk about claiming this because just because you feel a certain way doesn't mean you got to be that. Just because you feel angry doesn't mean that you got to be an angry person. Just because you feel like you're hurt doesn't mean that you someone that's, what happens if people you love can provide a negative environment? Well, you don't got to feed into that. Just don't feed into it. Hey, look, I'm going to tell you this. Growing up and even to this day, I don't give a damn about the opinions about the people that I love. Why? First and foremost, and that sounds a little extreme, but listen to me. Let me explain why. That's the only opinion upstairs that I need to worry about, right? When people around me are bringing out and I give it a negative environment, I have to do my job to be a light, right? And if them people around me are not even on that same mindset, I might have to detach myself. And I don't know exactly what your situation is, Brandon. So I can't give you a blanket statement, but I can say from my experience is I done had a lot of people that I would live with, standing around, and they was good for me in that time. But sometimes you're gonna outgrow the rooms that you in, and sometimes you can't really convince people. See, I always say I'm not in the convincing business. I'm not here to convince nobody to love me. I'm not here to convince nobody to be positive. I'm just going to be the light that I need to be. And sometimes your light is going to bring out the most negative side of other people. Sometimes the most beautiful thing about you is going to bring out the most ugly thing about other people. For example, when y'all was in school, you see some beautiful person that brought you some type of insecurity on the inside. It's like you felt like, okay, I'm not good enough because they're beautiful. What did that have to do with you? Your light is going to do the same thing for other people. Your light is going to do the same thing for other people. Yeah, it's good for me in that time, but outgrew all of that, getting away from negativity. Yep. And Takara said that negative energy from people you love. Yeah, like me and Takara be talking all the time. We be going back and forth, and she be on the lives and stuff. And we talk about this, like when you be trying to help people, like you're asking for it. You're asking for that because 9 times out of 10 you're gonna come across a lot of people that's not going to take your gifting and your light with gratitude, and that's okay. That's okay, because guess what? We're not giving with expectation of return. I'm not giving and showing you love with the expectation to be loved back. I already know what come with that game. I already know what I asked for. I already know what I signed up for. Right? Yeah, your light will be good for other people. Like I said this the other day, right? And it's one of my most favorite things I said. I don't know how God gave this to me, but look, your light. You ever seen a porch light? A porch light right there. When it's pitch black outside, you got the porch light. You're gonna have moths coming to you. You're gonna have mosquitoes coming to you. You're gonna have flies. All these bugs is floating around that light. And if they get too close to that light, they're gonna shrivel up. They're gonna burn up because that light is hot. That's what you are. Your light is like a porch light. It's it's one of the brightest lights. Make it feel like it's the only light in that certain section of where you at. The moths and the bugs and the mosquitoes, they all going to be attracted to it. Your light, God's favor on your life is going to attract the negativity. It's going to attract the demons. It's going to attract the devil. It's going to attract all that. That's what you should expect. Like I said, right before you get to your big breakthrough, your doubt and shit is going to be at the, excuse my language, it's going to be at the highest level. It's always going to be there right before you get to your breakthrough. But that's a sign. Like when God got his spotlight and his favor on you, that's just attracting everything to come and get you, because they want that. They want to suck that out of you. They want to tear you down. They want to take that light. But what people don't understand is you can't steal somebody else's light. See, it's going to be people that's going to try to take the light from you. They can't take your light. They can be inspired, and it can be like this candle right here, right? It could be like this candle right here that this candle, I could go light another, candle with this, but it's not going to take this light away. If you blow this candle out, you're not going to get no more fire. You can't steal this fire. It can only be gifted. That's good. That's for somebody right there. This light right here, this is you, okay? And it smells good. This is a cheap candle, but it smells good. This light, it can only be gifted. It can only be shared. It can only be generously donated. But you can't steal it. Because if I try to steal this thing, right? It's gone. I can't hold that thing in my hands. Now I gotta relight it. Now I gotta go back to God. I gotta be like, hey God, look, I need a little something. And God's gonna be like, okay, I got you. Here it go. No hesitation. Boom. Lit it back up. And he said, be careful with your light. Don't waste it. And by don't waste it, he means don't miscarry it. He doesn't mean don't waste it by don't not give it to people. That's not what it means. Don't waste it by allowing somebody else to come and try to diminish your light. Because you have to allow somebody to do this to you. You have to allow somebody to do that. Because if someone wants to convince you, if someone wants to tell you that, you ain't good enough, that you ain't got it, you ain't got none of that, God ain't got no favor on your life, you have to make the conscious choice that, you know what? You make a really good argument. I do suck. I am a loser. I am not worthy of nothing. Let me just go and close my light. That's not what we do. What kind of stuff is that? We don't talk to ourselves like that. God did not make you to do that. God love you. God love you. God's not about to accept that. Don't ever in your life disrespect yourself by talking like you ain't got it. Because last time I checked, there's only one creator, and he created you. He created me. He created all of us. So who am I and who is someone else to convince you that God made a mistake? You ain't no mistake. You ain't no damn mistake. We can't look at ourselves like that. And then Terry says, feeling people's energy is real. It is. And you got to be sensitive to that energy. Because you got to know, if you really want to be somebody in this world, if you really want to represent something in your life and live a fulfilling life, which doesn't mean money, cars, success. I got a bunch of cars. I got business. I already understand it. It's not about that. It's about the fulfillment. The fulfillment will get you all that stuff. When you have that fulfillment, that is where your light is going to come from. From Takar, that negative energy lives with me, unfortunately, but what I do is stay away from it. I used to come in, sit, talk, try to spend time, but now I just come in and go to my own personal private space that I cleaned up and made peaceful. Yep. It's hard, but I believe we control our environment, even if we have to create a small one within an environment. I created my own little oasis inside my home away from the negative energy. Look, hey, Takara, when you told me that the first time, I was so excited, because you was taking the things that you be learning, because all of us be looking at motivational stuff all day. We be scrolling, we read the Bible, listen to these studies, listen to these preachers, everybody talking. But you took that and you applied it. You added that works to the faith, and you added some movement behind it. Because the light can shine, but the light can't just stand still. The light gotta radiate. The light gotta move. The light people's gonna come in. And you took that and you said, I'm going to protect my peace. And if you don't protect your peace, how are you going to help other people? If we don't take care of who we are and take care of the things that we love and take care of the us, how are we going to be able to take care of? How are you going to be able to take care of your kids? Look, you don't want to represent to your kids like when I growing up, my mama, she had a lot of, she didn't really love herself like that. She good now, but because my dad was real abusive, and a lot of y'all y'all got kids. Like my girl, she got 2 kids. You cannot let that stuff control you and show your kids that they can allow situations like that to control them. Because you wouldn't be satisfied looking at your kids talking to themselves like that, thinking about themselves like that. treating themselves like that, allowing other people to walk over them like that, you can't do that. So why would you do that to yourself? My dad always used to say this, worst advice I ever had. He said, do as I say, not as I do. That's some of the dumbest stuff I ever heard. Do as I say, not as I do. That's not how leadership works. Leadership is not built on a megaphone. Leadership is built out on the field. Leadership is built out in the ring. Leadership is built out in the world. And all y'all is leaders. If you a mama, if you a wife, if you a daughter, you a leader. Like I always say, look, my girl teaches me everything. She, as much as a man is supposed to lead his wife, a woman is going to lead him 10 times more, because she gonna give him that sharpness. And what you got to understand is the most powerful thing, at least, and this is just my opinion, is one of the most powerful things I've seen is a woman that truly loved herself and represented that, because she didn't allow any outside voices or any outside things to come into her mind and control her. And then now she's all flustered up, or even men, now they all flustered up. If we let outside voices come in where we are supposed to cultivate our light, we're gonna allow ourselves to start turning the flame down low. No one else is doing that to you. You have to allow that. You have to accept those thoughts. You have to accept that, you can't really, make it happen. You can't make it work. But we don't do that. I always say my husband is the head and I'm the neck. I hold him up with my prayers. That is exactly what my girl is. She holds me up in every single way. And I love her to death, but I have to always keep her sharp. I have to always keep letting her know, like, look, you don't never let nobody walk over you like that. You will never let nobody talk to you like that. You don't never let nobody take advantage of you like that. You gotta fight for what you love. You gotta fight for what you believe in. And you gotta stand on that stuff with pure intention. See, we never do anything to get back at other people. If you sow a seed like that, you're not sowing a seed with pure intentions. You can't live this life without pure intentions. Because all you're doing is you sowing a bad seed. You sowing a parasite. You sowing something that's not made with goodwill, with a good foundation. And when you water that, it's gonna grow. It's gonna grow. But who's really gonna have power over that? Is that gonna be God, or you gonna let the devil come and take over that? We can't try to get back at other people. Yeah, bad fruit, they do fall, and a bad apple will ruin the bunch. Just like they was talking about getting out of negative people. I think Brendan was saying that, getting away from negative people. You can be as strong of a light as you are, but if you allow your roots to intertwine too deeply with all the other negative stuff, and you allow that stuff to take hold of you, you can't just pull that plant out, because the roots is already going to be locked in. If you pull that plant out, it's done. It's too locked into the soil. You got to watch who you keep your company with. Now, that doesn't mean avoid people in the sense, because you still got a light. You still got to go be a light in this world, but it means tread carefully and watch who you allow into your mind. Watch who you allow to give you advice, and watch who you allow to influence you. Because if you're around somebody long enough, you're going to get that influence. You're going to start talking like them. You're going to start making little mannerisms like them. Your voice is going to change a little bit. It's all about monitoring, what are you feeding yourself? What are we feeding our minds? What are we getting our minds on? What type of frequency are we getting our minds on? That is important. We got to keep ourselves going at a high frequency. We got to keep ourselves feeding on positive thinking, on grounding ourselves back in God, because God's the one in control, and God got all the answers for you. But God is also the thing that's going to get you to peace. When we locked up in all this stuff going around us and all this chaos, the only way to deal with that is to find our inner peace, because the whole world around you could look like a mess. But that don't change how you are. It's like they said, Jesus was on a boat and he had all the disciples on there. The storm was going on. Jesus over there sleeping. He's knocked out, dreaming, just chilling. And there's all water in the boat and stuff. And then the storm is coming, and these guys like, Jesus, wake up. This is a storm going on. And Jesus like, yeah, this wind stop. And the wind stops, and he comes down. He's like, stop freaking out over this stuff. If I'm right here with you and I'm calm, don't freak out. I got you. He got you. He right there with you. So keep that in mind, and make sure you continue to ground yourself in them moments where, you're getting a little too caught up in the world around you, and you're getting a little too influenced by the stuff that you don't need to let influence you. When you feel lost, it's an okay thing. Find yourself some time and ground yourself. Find yourself some time to isolate yourself. Find yourself some time to, be who you need to be who you really are. Yeah, that grace, God gonna shine his grace on you. So yeah, yeah, that's pretty much what I had to say today. Like, keep going and stuff. That's just a part of the whole keep your persistence going. Like, all of these things in life are going to come at you. You can't avoid them. Look at them as the blessing that they are. Look at everything as the blessing that it is, because everything either came to teach you, give to you, or break you down to build you up. It's nothing comes to really hurt you. Everything is coming for the betterment of you. Now, if you look at it with a short-term lens, it's gonna look like, yeah, it came to destroy me. But if you look at it on the long term, it was just some demolition to bring back the construction. Just doing a little bit of remodeling. If it's not a blessing, it's a lesson. That's right. And then it turns into a blessing.
Right. Ray, I have a question. So what made you start amplifying your voice? Like what made you not, how did you not become ashamed of being homeless and getting to where you're at today?
Mm, I thought that stuff made me cool.
Really?
Yeah, I think everything I go through is it's like the coolest thing ever, because it means I didn't have it given to me. I had to earn it, and I like that. I like being able to tell people like, oh yeah, I took the tougher route. That gives me confidence, because when I make it over that, which I will, because I know God is on my side. I know I'm walking with pure intentions. God gonna lead the way. Yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful story to tell.
Amen. I agree. So what about for people that do not go through such things as homelessness, or let's say like being a single parent, or drugs, alcohol, like they just have it, they had it like given to them, like they didn't have to struggle in life, like their parents took care of them, their parents was able to give them money to pay for school. What about people, what about the ones that don't essentially, did not have to struggle to get to where they're at today?
See, I had that too. I had both sides of the coin growing up as well. So I think I think the most important thing is to you can't define yourself from where you came from,
Mm.
but you can only really define yourself by the intentions and the habits that you have right now. Everybody can change. Everybody, you see people all the time that have changed 180 degrees, 360 degrees. It's about who are you choosing to be. It's never about the what. The what is only important when it comes to the vision. But it's never really about it's about who. What created you, right? What experiences created you? And then how are you interpreting those, and who is that creating the person that you are? Because you could have been given everything you had in your life, but if you got that mindset of, integrity, good character, taking the harder route, being generous, forming good habits, discipline over everything, discipline, consistency, being able to do the things and detach from the easy way, detach from the pleasure, not choose the pleasureful route, but the purposeful route. Because
Mm.
pleasure and temptation it's always going to be there, but the purpose is always going to be there too. It's just not going to be as shiny at first. It's not going to look as good and as easy. And when you can choose to do that, that's what defines who you are. And never about what you've been through. It don't matter if you've been given everything. It don't matter if you haven't been given everything. You can't judge somebody by their past. You should not judge anybody, but we're humans, so we're going to judge people regardless. You should only judge yourself by the choices that you make right now. And if you made a mistake, pick it up, accept it for what it was. The past is the past. Learn from it and move on. Use that as a footstool for yourself.
That's good. I like that. Does anyone have any other questions for Ray? You guys could be free to get off the mic, or you could come in the chat.
If there's any questions, pray us out.
Do you mind sharing your platform so we could follow you, if you don't mind?
Yeah.
If you want to put that inside into the chat as well.
All right, yeah, I just typed it up on the chat. Any final thoughts for the ladies? Yeah, remember who you are. Remember how beautiful you are. Remember that God made you, and that don't nobody define who you are but you. Can't nobody tell you that you this, you that, only you. Can't nobody tell you what your name is. Don't ever let nobody tell you what your name is. Don't ever let nobody tell you who you are, ever in your life. I'll be damned if I see one of y'all. Don't ever, ever in your life let nobody tell you who you are, who you can and you can't be. That is your choice. I don't care if the whole world around you, if your mama, if your man, if your kids, if the person down the street, if the person at work, if your boss, if the person in charge of whatever you got going on says, it don't matter. Other people's opinions do not dictate who you are. You do not live for other people. You're living for God first and foremost, and then you're living for yourself. And then all that other stuff follows. But you represent that you're gonna beat the odds. I said, I got it right here on my wall. Define, beat the odds. You represent that no matter what is stacked against you. I got in my song, God Got a Plan for Me. I say, odds stacked against me, I can't fold. Whatever struggle I'm in right now, all this fear that's trying to weigh me down. 11 times out of 10, picking your plan over mine. God got a plan for me. Even if the whole world just ain't understanding me. I took a bet on myself and I don't got a plan B. But I know that God got a plan for me. Whoa, he got a plan for me. Whoa. Look, the odds are going to be against you. That doesn't mean you fold under them. The world is going to misunderstand you, but being misunderstood is a blessing. Being misunderstood is a blessing. It is a blessing. So if people don't agree with, but most importantly, make sure you move with pure intentions. If you're not moving with pure intentions and people just like you, okay, well, I'm not probably gonna discount them for that. But if you moving with the right intentions, right? What does it say right here? Chronicles 28:9. It says, I got it written on my table right here. It says, "For the Lord searches all hearts and understands every intent of the thoughts. If you seek him, he will let you find him." He knows every intent of the thoughts. When your intentions are pure and you're doing things from a sound mind and a sound heart, it does not matter what anybody has to say about you. It does not, because they're not going to understand you. They're not going to know you. They're going to have their opinions from their life, and that does not matter. Forget them. Let them talk. You kill them with your success. You kill them with your kindness. You kill them by out disciplining them. You kill them by being the best you that you could be, and let God do the rest. Let God handle that. But most importantly, do not forget who you are. I can't stress that enough. Do not forget who you are. Please don't ever in your life disrespect yourself like that. Ever in your life, ever disrespect God or yourself by allowing yourself to claim some stuff that ain't true. Come on, man. Don't forget who you are. Okay? That's it. That's for y'all right there. I love y'all. Appreciate you for having me. I'm gonna pray us out real quick. Lord God, thank you for bringing us together on this beautiful day, God. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to connect today, Lord. I pray that you bless each and every one of these women in this call right now, Lord. Please bless their families, Lord. Please bless the work of their hands, God. Please bless their mindset. Please bless their intentions, Lord. Please bless their purpose. Please guide them all on the right path, Lord. Please teach them right from wrong, Lord. Please give them clarity. Please give them wisdom. Please give them confidence, Lord. And please give them the discernment to know when it's your voice and when it's another voice, Lord. I know that you're going to put that pressure on them, Lord. I know that you're going to bring them through a lot of stuff that they don't know that they're going to get through, Lord. But regardless of that, Lord, I pray that you keep their faith strong throughout the whole process, Lord. No matter what the outside world looks like, Lord, I pray that you give them that confidence from within. Lord, I pray that you give them that clarity from within. Lord, I pray that you give them that fire from within and that ambition to go chase something and be something greater than what they ever imagined, Lord. I know you got a breakthrough on the way, God. I know that right now we're in a powerful season. Everyone in the world is feeling it right now, Lord. I pray that on the other side of this breakthrough, Lord, I pray that you will bless and shower every single person in this call with an abundance of grace, God. Please give them more than they ask for. Please give them more than the seeds that they've sown, God. But more importantly, help them feel fulfilled in the work that they do, God. Help them feel fulfilled when they wake up in the morning. Help them take the harder route. Help them get stronger. I don't pray that you make none of these situations easier, Lord. I just pray that you make them all stronger. I pray that you help them rise up to the challenge, Lord. I pray that you help them rise up to that next level. And no matter what devils, demons, spirits, human beings, or whatever come their way, Lord, I just pray that you give them the strength to recognize that that's not what's going to kill them. That's only going to make them stronger, Lord. Please guide us on the right path, Lord. Please bless everyone in this world, Lord. Please bless everyone that we love that is sick, anyone that has cancer, anyone that's going through it mentally or physically or spiritually or emotionally, Lord. Please give them all the strength, Lord. Please bless our families, Lord. Please bless anyone that we know that has passed away, Lord. Please forgive them of their sins. Please, I pray that their souls are at peace, Lord. I pray that their families have strength through that time of that loss, Lord. I pray that you bless anyone that's fallen victim to the atrocity of war, Lord. Please bless the souls of all the innocent people, Lord. And please just guide us all on the right path and help us be the best version of us that we can be, Lord. I trust you. Please speak to us. I pray that we have an amazing end to this week. And amen. All right. Appreciate y'all. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate you. God bless every single one of you. All you beautiful women out there.
Thank you so much.
Don't forget who you are and keep going.
Thank you. All right. God bless you too, Ray. Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, good night, ladies. Thank you guys for all joining in tonight. We will see you guys next Thursday, same time, 8:30. And also, please follow us on the WhatsApp link. Chantrice is adding that to the chat. We do 5 a.m. intentional time with God every morning, praying, and we also remember we have our faith focus and finish strong journal, Unshakable Faith. If you guys would like to get that journal, that'd be great. But we'll see you guys next Thursday, 8:30. Thank you guys for joining us tonight.